What's up, guys? Welcome to my garage. Today I want to talk a little bit about my ongoing project, and I want to talk a little bit about some parts still available for our Dt50. Now, cylinders. This one right here, cast iron cylinder. This is the stock cylinder for a Yamaha Dt50. I actually ordered this one from Japan. Far as I know, there is two options still available, or at least it's easy to get. It's a 44, if I'm not mistaken, and a 46. But there is two problems. First, the price they charge. The price they charge, it's almost the same price as a 54 cylinder kit. And the weight. This is super heavy compared with these ones, so that means the shipping is going to be expensive. So in my opinion, it's not worth it. Moving forward to the aluminum cylinder kits, this one right here, 54, there is a 50 millimeters, there is a 55, and then there is a 57 as well, but it will be cast iron. And then going to the small cylinders, I think there is still an option of a stock piston size, which will be a 40 millimeter. In my opinion, this one right here is the best option. Why? Cost, it's not so high compared with all the other cylinders, and the performance you gain from this, it's pretty good. Now it depends what stage you want to use, how far you want to go, because you can just literally use pretty much a 42 millimeter crankshaft, no porting the cylinder, using the stock reed valves. Everything will work fine. You're gonna have enough torque to carry two people around, do whatever you need. Now, if you want to start improving more what you have or this kit, then we start having options. Now, for example, this is a stock cylinder and these are the stock reed valves. They are very tiny. This cylinder right here, which is made for the Dt80, still have the same size of reed cage, let's say. This is too tiny. One of the best options out there, and the easiest one, will be this one right here. It's from a TZR50 or a TZ50, like just this one over here on the background. It's very easy to get one of these, and it's very easy to adapt a cylinder for it. It doesn't take much in order to make it work. Now, I like to use something even bigger for my builds, since I'm trying to squeeze much power I can out of them. As you guys can see, this is even bigger. But it will require a spacer to space out. Let's see if I can show, to space out a little bit the reeds. That also it helps to gain a little bit of more crankcase volume, which is, like we're increasing a lot the cc's, and we're going to require X amount of crankcase volume, so that helps to achieve that. Stock cylinder, stock engine, they have 39.7 of stroke. These cylinders right here, 54s, they have 42 millimeter stroke, because this is made for the Yamaha Dt80. Now, you can get crankshafts with 42 millimeters, 43, 44, 45, just like this one, or even bigger. This one right here, it's a 45 millimeter, but the crank webs are bigger than normal. Okay, they have, if I'm not mistaken, 2 millimeters more than normal. The rod also, it's slightly longer. This rod have 90 millimeters between centers, but we can get a crankshaft with a stock size rod. I'm using these rods right here. They are 94 millimeter between centers. It's totally different rod. They are actually stronger, even stronger than these ones right here. I can't get these no more. These came from a go-kart engine that is not made anymore. So I've been digging through the internet trying to find more of these. I only have a few, and if I find another ones, I will buy them just for my builds. So if we are looking to do 54 millimeter with even with a 42 crankshaft, we're gonna encounter just one problem on engine case. Well, I will say it's not technically a problem, it needs to be done a slight modification. As you guys can see over here, there's a difference. This engine case right here is from a Yamaha Dt50, and this one is from actually from a TZR50, which is exactly the same as the Dt50. So this part over here of the engine case needs to be bored out in order to fit the cylinder. There is another part on engine case. If you are looking to squeeze all the performance out of this engine, then it needs to be slightly. So this bushing right here, it's a brass bushing. It needs to be removed, and it needs to be replaced with a needle bearing, which is easy to get. I have plenty of those. It's an easy job, not a big deal. I must say, if you're not heavily porting your cylinder or trying to squeeze a lot of performance out of it, you're never going to have that issue. Now, to show you guys, as you guys can see, this is where the engine case needs to be cut in order to accommodate the cylinder. Now, if you're using a slightly longer stroke or a slightly longer stroke with a longer rod, let's say you're using a 43 or a 44 with a 90 millimeter rod, you're going to need to space out the cylinder, and it's easy also to make a spacer. I have the spacers, and it's easy to get, you know, these all matched up, like exactly the same way I'm doing on my build. So as parts wise, today that's the only I'm gonna show you guys. I have more parts coming in, and I will show you what parts can be used and how they can be used and all of that good stuff. So moving forward to my build over here, I finally got a lot of this stuff situated. I finally made the spacer, correct spacer for these reed valves. These are the reed valves that I have installed on this engine. As you guys can see as well, I already have the spacer done to correctly space the cylinder. This is not the crankshaft that I'm going to use, it's another one. This one is just I use as a reference while I'm building the engines. There's no need to scratch new parts and all that. This is just for taking measurements and all of that stuff. I already cut it or bore the engine case to accommodate a bigger crankshaft. that's it for today. Till next time.